We're not. Oh, we might not be able to see them. I got it. Okay. They're all in though. Got it. Okay. So let's go ahead and start then. I was going to tell everybody to turn their cameras on, but we're not going to be able to see everybody today. So, Jillian, you're going to be looking at me. I'm going to be looking at you. But everybody is here for you, Jillian. So,
Love it.
welcome, everybody. Do me a massive, massive favor. Here at the Upgrade community, we always start with winning. We start with gratitude. We bring up the energy. And Jillian has taken time out of her day, out of her business to be here with us today to pour into us. So let's start this meeting right. Everyone go to the chat right now and drop how you are winning. What are you grateful for? Why are you here? Where are you from? If you are hearing my voice, you are going to the chat and you are dropping how you are winning, what you are grateful for, why you showed up today, what you are looking for. So, everyone, I'm challenging you right now to bring up the frequency, bring up the energy, and let's start today off right. So go to the chat and drop how you are winning. With that being said, Jillian is a dear friend of mine. She's very special to me, to Spring, to our Upgrade community, to our Inner Circle community. Not only is she one of the top producing agents in the entire industry, she's also owns and operates the largest woman-led team in Nevada. And she has always been a spitfire, a top producer, a hustler, but she has now broken in at a very high level to the luxury market. And we have got so much feedback from our community of, how do you navigate that? How do you start? Where do you start? How do you master it? And I think there's a lot of theory out there. I think there's a lot of guessing, like maybe they've done a few listings or they got a few luxury clients. She has proven over and over again that she has whatever that is to find the luxury clients, sell luxury homes. And that's going to be our main point of focus today is to help you with some strategy, some perspective, some insight for you to do the same in your business. One thing about Jillian that I love and respect and appreciate is she's all in. She's all gas, no breaks in every room that she's in, every event that she's at, in her personal life, etc. She's wearing all white today because she is in her fiance stage. She is about to get married, so she has massive things happening in her personal life as well. So, how today's going to go is Jillian's going to run the show, and I might pepper in a few questions there or go a little bit deeper on a few topics. I also can run the chat. So if you guys want to drop any questions as she's speaking, Jillian, you don't even have to pay attention to it. But if I see something come up that could add value to what we're speaking about today, I'll put that question in front of you. But with that being said, everyone, it is Jillian Batchelor. It is your show. Thank you for being here.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to do this. When you teach, you always learn. So I love being part of this community, love being part of Spring and Justin's world, and just super grateful to be here. So thank you so much for having me, and would love any questions that you guys have. But I'll give you a quick little background on me. So I'm in Las Vegas. Any of you guys who want to go check out my social media, it's Jillian Batchelor, Batchelor. So it's just like a bachelor, bachelorette, but it has a T in it. So Jillian Batchelor at Instagram, Facebook. You can look up TikTok. So love social media. It's been a great tool in my life. You absolutely have to be on there. But yeah, so to tell you a little bit about me. So I've lived in Las Vegas my whole life. I'll tell you, I did not grow up around wealth. So that was not something that I had experience in or knew a lot about. So I didn't marry into money. I didn't inherit money by any means. So I knew that if I wanted to become wealthy, I had to establish that wealth myself, right? So I will tell you, when I first got into real estate, I got into real estate at 18 years old, got into the title business, and then started selling real estate at 20. Obviously, the majority of my friends back then were not buying homes at 20 years old. And my mom was a realtor. Now, I'll tell you, my mom was a very average, mediocre realtor. And I don't say that bad, but she never broke $100,000. She never made, $100,000 except for one year when we ran a team together. And so she was the average realtor that was making about $60,000 a year. And granted, everything, inflation, cost of living, everything was so much lower back then. So it was good money. But, she was never a top producer. So I don't want to lead you guys to believe like I came in and she like handed me all this business. But I recognized who were top producers in the market. Back then, a lot of people had billboards and they had all those things, billboards, they had bus stops, they had magazine ads. And I knew like I want to be like them, right? And so I dived into real estate. And I'll tell you, in my first 9 months, so I got licensed February 28th. So technically, you're off to the running May or March 1st. And then obviously, we all know in real estate, even if you pop a deal in on the first day, which you don't, it's going to take about 30 days to close. So in my first 9 months in real estate, I closed 65 homes in 9 months. Not one was a team lead. There was no such thing. I mean, you guys, this is 2000, back early 2000s. There was no like internet really. Closed 65 homes, and I took home. This was after there were no 100% companies. I was on a split and then at a split company. I think the most my split ever got up to was like 70%. And then we were at Century 21. They took 6%, and then my franchise took another 5%. So I was all in at about 30% split to the team, 21%, or sorry, 11% split to the house, so 41% split. So I was netting about 59%. You guys can see. That year, in those 9 months, I took home $197,000. Imagine that, like for a 20-year-old person to take home $197,000 in 9 months. And I was like, I'm rich. Like I am loaded, you guys. I thought I like hit the hill. Like I had no idea, right? Then I had to learn how to become a business owner. So then, because I had to learn how to incorporate taxes, all the things. People will ask me all the time how I started doing that, how I started doing that volume of real estate. Well, I came from a corporate job. I came from a title company where you work 8 to 5. And honestly, if anyone knows anything about title companies, you work 8 to 5, but the title company I worked for expected you to be there at 7 a.m. And if you tried to leave at 6, they were like, why are you leaving so early? So our hours were 8 to 5, but there was no 8 to 5.
Mm.
So I was used to working regular hours. So when I got licensed, I was like, okay, so what do I do from 8 to 5? So I did open houses, I did door knocking, and I just didn't have fear. I was like, I'm going to go for it, right? I'm going to go for it. If I'm going to make a life change, I'm going to go for it. And since then, every single year after that, I've always made more money than the year before, with the exception of one year during 2009 when the market was taking a complete crash. Nobody knew what was going to happen. It was a rough year. And so I always thought to myself, well, I'm young. Well, I'm young. That was the story I was telling myself. Well, I'm young. I'm a young female. I'm not a big real estate investor or anything yet. So I'm just going to sell these average homes. And in Vegas, an average home back then was like 120 all the way up to maybe 300. If you sold a $500,000 home, it was like, oh my gosh, luxury. It was crazy. And then I did short sales when the market crashed. I did short sales, which were every month they were less than they were the month before. And so you kind of tell yourself this story about you're this average agent. And I was a volume agent. And I told myself I'm a volume agent. I want to move units, right? And I still believe there's something behind moving units. And I'll tell you why in a second there. But I was telling myself I'm a volume agent, not a luxury agent, not a high-end agent, right? I was telling myself I was a volume agent. And that was great because I was doing so much business and I was making a ton of money, but I didn't let myself believe that I was a luxury agent. So, first thing I'd say to you guys is you got to have the mindset that you're worth it. This webinar that we're doing today is talking about going from $300,000 condos to $5 million estates, right? $5 million, we know there's no such thing as setting commission, but let's just say you might make what I would make, which would be $150,000. Are you worth $150,000 on one transaction? Can you look in the mirror and say, absolutely, I'm worth $150,000? I will tell you, the majority of you probably wouldn't say that to yourself. A, because you're your biggest enemy, right? B, you don't have the mindset of being worth it. I'll tell you, on one transaction, my largest paycheck was over $500,000 on one transaction. And I didn't, I know there's no preset commission. I didn't discount what I charge, right? So I still charged what I normally charge, right? Because I know I'm the Ferrari. And so if you want a Ferrari, you have to pay the price tag of a Ferrari. I'm not a Toyota Corolla, so I don't discount myself to the price of a Toyota Corolla. And I tell people that all the time because look, they're both vehicles. They both probably have 4 doors or 2 doors. They both have windows. They both have 4 wheels. They both have an engine. Uh, but which one are you? Now, when everyone wants to be the Ferrari, nobody's like, hey, I want to be the hoopty, right? But are you really the Ferrari? And let me tell you how you become the Ferrari. We're talking a lot about mindset. Are you dressed and ready to go? Now, every single day I come into the office, I don't care if I have appointments or not, I look like $1 million. My hair's done, my makeup's done, I look good, I've worked out already in that day, my jewelry's on point, everything matches head to toe, right? Because I want to be employable every single day. See, I wake up unemployed every day. Even as a business owner, I wake up unemployed. It is my job to earn the right to be employed. And if I roll into the office at 10 a.m., if I roll in not with my hair and makeup done, if I got my kid with me, if I got sweats on, am I worth $150,000 that day? I'm not. I don't think I am. But that's just the icing on the cake, right? Is how you look. What it really comes down to is, are you educated? Have you put in the time and effort to become educated to your local market? Are you the mayor of your town? Do you know what golf course is being sold before it even hits the news? Do you know what ice cream shop is coming in? Do you know business and industry that's coming into your city? You know what? One of the things we live in Las Vegas, you guys, one of the biggest things I've heard for years and years and years is you're running out of water. You guys are running out of water. How are all these builders building about water? It surprises me that in my city, there's 18,000 realtors. The majority of them do not know about our 50-year water plan, which is published on our Southern Nevada Water Authority's website. It's actually very impressive. We actually desalinate for the state of California. Most people don't know that. We're one of the leading water plants in the entire country. We're not running out of water. We actually are using less water today in 2025 with a population of 2.8, almost 2.9 million people than we used in the year 2000 with a population of 800,000 less people due to our water conservation. So when people come to me and I can tell them all about the water district and the water plan and how we have a 50-year water plan to grow and how we can grow our population to $5 million, right then my education has just put me ahead of all the other realtors in the city that don't know about that plan, that don't know how we would grow. Because what does that mean if a city can go from 2.8 million people to 5 million? That means that there's room for appreciation. You can't double your city size and homes not appreciate. So right there alone, I've already just made my buyers feel more comfortable buying a home in Las Vegas because now they know that their home will appreciate over time because we're going to grow. And you know what the difference between us and California is? We're not landlocked. Outside of Las Vegas, we have acres and acres and acres and acres and acres we can build on forever. In California, they can only go up. So that's where a lot of the growth comes from. So that little piece of knowledge. The other thing is like we have Lake Mead, largest man-made body of water west of the Mississippi. It's not just for recreation, it's actually where our water comes from. A lot of agents don't know enough about that. So going back to, are you worth $150,000 paycheck? Yeah, because I know everything about this city. Because I've chose to educate myself. As a realtor, it's important. I know everything about every public school, every private school, every charter school here in Las Vegas. I got on the board of the largest charter school in Las Vegas when they were first coming to the city. I was the only non-LDS person sitting on this board. I had to fight my way in. I was also the only woman sat on the board. My kids were still very young at the time. I only had one that was actually in elementary school. And they said, "Why'd you get on this board?" I go, "This is going to be the largest charter school coming to the city of Las Vegas." They now have 12 locations, just so you guys know. But I was like, I need to know about this. I need to sell other school districts to my clients. So I chose to become educated. That alone, my education is proving I am worth 150,000. In fact, I'm worth 1.5 million dollars on a paycheck because I choose to educate myself. So it's not just do I show up? Yes. Every single day I'm in this office. If I don't have a migraine, I do suffer from migraines, you guys, but if I don't have a migraine or if I'm not out of town, I'm here. My family knows, like, you can't call me and be like, "Hey, Jillian, let's go shopping at downtown Summerlin on a Tuesday at noon." No, those are my business hours. You wouldn't be able to call a doctor and be like, "Hey, blow off your patients." You wouldn't be able to call an attorney and be like, "Hey, don't go show up for court. Let's go play around, at shopping." So my family and friends know I'm a professional. So, like, I show up, I'm dressed and ready to go. I'm educated because one of my mentors taught me way back in the day, you can never be overdressed, you can never be overeducated.
Mm.
So I constantly continue to educate myself on the things that are happening in the city. So I can have intellectual conversations with people that I'm sitting across the table to. Because a lot of times now my clients are much more wealthier than I am, much more wealthier. And how am I going to feel like I'm on their level? Well, I don't have $1 billion. I haven't sold a company for $1 billion, but I can feel like I'm on their level because when you talk something I know, which is business and economics in my city, I can blow you away. So I'll tell you, actually, speaking about that, I'll tell you, I was at a dinner. A girlfriend of mine invited me to a dinner. I didn't realize it was going to be an intimate dinner. It was going to be four guys at a table and the two of us. And she's sitting there and she's not really saying too much. And I'm just not one of those women that's eye candy. You guys, that's just not who I am. Okay. It's just not who I am. So I want to talk business. I want to be one of the boys. I want to like know what's going on at the table. And these gentlemen start talking and they're talking about these businesses. He sold a business for 500 million. He sold a business for $1 billion. He's part of this corporation, part of this corporation. And immediately, you guys, something happened to me that doesn't normally happen. I started feeling intimidated. And if you guys know me, I don't intimidate very easy, but I was getting intimidated. I'm sitting at a table with billionaires. And so what did I immediately do? I went into Jillian mode. And I was like, okay. I can hold my own. I can talk about the city. One of these guys is moving here, living in a high rise. One of these guys wants to build in one of the most coveted luxury communities in Las Vegas, like a $30 million home. And I started telling him all the reasons why it would be good to buy in Las Vegas, all the things that Vegas has to offer. Everyone knows we have sports teams and casinos and whatever, entertainment. But I started telling him all the other things that are coming. And he said to me, he goes, Jillian, stop for a second. He goes, you're one of the most impressive women I've ever met. And he goes, I'm not hitting on you. I'm a married man. And he really wasn't hitting on me. He goes, but you're one of the most impressive women I've ever met. He goes, you've had the most intellectual conversation that I have had in years sitting at this table. He goes, I'm so impressed that you know your city this well. And immediately I was like, oh, shoulders up, felt good about myself, right? Feeling confident. But it's because I dived into something that I knew I could hold my own on. And a lot of my clients over the years, because I've done that, have looked at me as the authority. You're hiring me to be the authority of what you're looking for. So I'm the authority in real estate. Now I'll tell you another client of mine that one of my largest clients to date, multi-millionaire. He was an attorney out of the state of California. He actually was the managing partner for the lawsuit that happened a handful of years ago, where PG&E was suing the state of California due to all the fires that were caused by PG&E. He had the largest law. He represented the largest settlement from the state of California. So you guys would say he's a trained negotiator, right? Because that's all we are as realtors, trained negotiators as well. And this gentleman was coming to me for real estate advice. Now, look, I've never settled a multi hundreds of millions of dollars lawsuit. And so initially I was thinking, oh my gosh, this gentleman's coming to me for real estate advice. But why is he doing that? Because I'm the authority of my city. I know what's happening in Las Vegas. Now, if we were going to litigate a case, he's going to win against me. But when it comes to actually negotiating a contract, he trusted me because he knew that I knew what I was doing because I had proven myself to him. So that goes back into that mindset of, are you able to prove yourself? Many times clients will tell me, or agents will tell me, but I haven't proven myself yet. I haven't done the deals you've done, Jillian. So what do I do? How do I do that if I haven't proven myself? Great. Just become more educated. If you don't have the sales behind you, just become more educated on the city. People want to work with people that they know, like, and trust. So the last word there was trust. And how do you build trust? You build it by showing that you have education. I believe you build it in a real estate aspect, education on the things that are happening. And you have to dive in. So that's a conscious choice, right, guys? That's a conscious choice to dive into getting these clients to trust you, but because you're diving into the education. So go to events that are not real estate related. Go to the water authority, go to groundbreaking, events, go to figure out what commercial projects are coming up. That's how you're going to, become educated on your city and figure out what's happening there. Now, really quick,
I got
Justin,
you. I got
do me a
you. It
break.
says, where are you finding your luxury clients before they were sending you referrals? So you don't have to be derailed here. So if you feel like it's a natural segue, go for it. Where did your luxury
Yeah,
clients
no, no, I love
come
it.
from
So,
before they were already coming in? Yeah.
so if you're an agent right now and you really don't have any luxury clientele, right? Here's what I would do. Fastest way you can find luxury clientele is go to charity events, big charity events. People that are there, if somebody's going to donate $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, they have some money, right? So go to charity events, find a charity that you actually identify with. So don't go and just like use it to don't be slimy about it, but find a charity that you identify with. So in Las Vegas, there's a couple of children's charities, women that have come out of battered situations, charities that I've supported my whole life, that I would give them my last dime if I was broke anyway. So I want to be at these events anyways. I want to help these people. My heart is with them. Go to the events that you like. And even if you can't do a big donation like that, just start talking to people, get to know people. These are, walk up to people, ask them how they get connected here. What do they know about the charity? And naturally it'll come up what you do for a living, what they do for a living. And it'll start coming up, oh, I'm in real estate. People will ask you how the market is. So number one, charity events. Number two, a lot of they call them like the rich man sports. So go to golf events because there's a lot of money there. A lot of my pickleball clients, I tend to find have a lot of money. So go to, you want to get around these people without being so salesy. You want to get around them and just kind of brush shoulders with them. So you can go to like pickleball tournaments. You can go to charity events. You can go to golf tournaments. Another one, if you want to be a little more direct, I have a lot of clientele that are attorneys. So divorce attorneys, usually they know some of the high priced divorce attorneys are going to have high priced clients. So you start working the attorney as your client, like, hey, I want to work clients, let's do some reciprocity here. Let's get some business going back and forth. You might have to prove yourself to them. You might have to show them how good of a realtor you are, things that you've done. Wealth managers are great right now. I started with my wealth manager, my personal wealth manager. And I was like, after a couple of years, I was like, I'm investing in you. I'm hiring you. I'd love to see if you have any clients that are interested in buying a property. Now, here's the key. They might test you and you have to be up for the test. So I'll give you an example. I had a wealth manager call me one day and he said, I have a client who wants to buy a property. And I go, okay, great. I was so excited. I knew this guy represented clients with tens and tens of millions of dollars. So he goes, they want to buy a $300,000 property. And so immediately you're like, well, that's not a luxury property. But he was testing me because the client, how did he build his wealth? He built it through being a real estate investor. So you can't say to a client, oh no, I just want to list your $10 million house. I don't want to take your $300,000 investment. So the wealth manager was like, I'm not going to stake my reputation on her. Let me test her and see how good she actually services the client. And you have to be willing to give that white glove, that red carpet service, no matter what, when it comes to those, sometimes because you're getting tested. Some of my biggest clients have come from my smallest inquiries. So they may be inquired on something small and either transacted on something small or not, and they gave me their larger one. I have a small development right now that was foreclosed upon. And I say small development, they're still luxury homes. There was 4 homes. They were all between like 1.5 and 2.5 million. And we're on the last home right now. We're selling it out. And the guy goes, well, when we're done with this, can you list my $24 million home? Yeah, I mean, of course I can. Absolutely. I would love to list your $24 million home. But if I would have said no to these other kind of problem properties that were foreclosed upon, they're gorgeous properties, but they had some title issues, I wouldn't have gotten that deal. And then now he's building a $5 million spec home and, all different types of things like that. So I will tell you one other thing. My largest client to date, he is a billionaire 10 times over, came from somebody in my neighborhood. Now, I don't live in a $1 billion neighborhood by far. Okay. It was the grandson of this billionaire. I didn't know his grandpa was a billionaire. I didn't know anything about that. When my friend bought his house, he bought it for under $1 million years and years and years ago. I've been in the neighborhood for a long time. And I had to prove myself to the family that I was a great realtor. And then one day my friend goes, well, my cousin's a realtor. He's been doing some commercial real estate for my grandpa, but he hasn't gotten him what he wants. My grandpa says you can come in and interview. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, this was a tough interview. First off, it was an 85-year-old LDS man. If you know anything about the LDS church, generally the women aren't the ones that are working and doing like high net worth deals, right? So I'm walking in, his grandson's his realtor, and I'm a female. So I got about 2 things, and he's 85, so he just has a different mindset of like women are at home raising the babies, right? So I got a couple challenges up against me, right? And I walk in, and he puts me at the head of the table. And again, I'm a little bit intimidated because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm at the, and he has these gorgeous corporate offices and put me at the head of the table. And he goes, all right, you got 5 minutes to tell me why I should work with you. And I just had to go. I had to like just be on it. And then he was like, we walk out of the deal. He goes, all right, you're hired, but you're not getting more than 5%. I go, well, we're spending $10 million. 5% will work. We'll work it out. Right. So since then, he's spent 10 million with me. Then he spent 20 million with me. Then we sold something for 20 million. We're working on a $100 million deal right now. But he came from somebody in my neighborhood, and I do not live in a $1 billion neighborhood, you guys. So my point is, you never know. You have to treat everybody with this red carpet service. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get these clients. And of course, if you know that they're high net worth clients, obviously you might do a little bit more. And then when it comes to your marketing and your branding, obviously all of that is going to be next level. But hopefully that answers your question, gives you some ideas of where you can get some of these high net worth clients. Quickest path, again, is going to be through like wealth managers, divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, trust attorneys, estate planning attorneys, the people with money that they would go to. Another one is I love high-end cars, not as much as Springs Brian. I wish I loved him that much, but I love high-end cars. And so there's a high-end car dealer here in Vegas, and he just does, if you want any specialty $500,000 car, he'll find it for you. And so I go and I kind of work him. And a lot of realtors are in his circle, but I'm getting some business from him too. So you got to go to those avenues, those people who know people that have money. So good
Jillian,
on
Jillian, you answered the question perfectly. I want to know if somebody really challenges you that way and you have 5 minutes to tell them why they should hire you, what would be some key points? Is it your energy, your tone, your certainty? Is it your language? Like, how do you prove yourself in that short amount of time?
Okay, so this works for me. So you have to you can't say this unless you're really going to do it, right? So because there are there's one agent in this city that is just known for luxury. He's an amazing man. No one can ever say a word against him. And I know that people use him and like him, love him, respect him. I love him and respect him. He's a great just human. And so somebody has said to me, "Well, I'm going to use him." And I said to him, and I would never, you can't even speak bad about this man, but even if you could, I would never talk bad about my competition. But what I said was, this person has a lot of inventory and has a lot of listings and a lot of things. And he's a great, great realtor. But for him, you're going to be one of his many clients right now, and he's going to be busy. For me, you're going to be one of my top clients. And so I will outwork him. I will outwork him. If you, I mean, I don't think I said this exact word, but basically, like, if you want me to do a cartwheel, I'm gonna do a cartwheel, like whatever it takes. Like, it doesn't have to only be real estate related. A funny story, guys. I mean, I have done everything. People think real estate is selling homes and marketing homes. I have done everything from finding people pet sitters. I have booked dinner reservations for men who forgot to get dinner reservations for their wife's birthday. I've done personal shopping for them. I've had picked up their cars that have gotten transported here because the clients aren't in Vegas. I have had every single thing. I had a client who was moved here by herself at 8 months pregnant, and I went to the OBGYN with her. She was pregnant with twins because she didn't know anybody else in the city. Like, that's far beyond real estate, but that's how you create these relationships. So I just explained to the client that I'm going to outwork anybody else you put in front of me. It's not about no other realtor is my competition. I will outwork them and I will outperform them. And I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I'm willing to give everyone a money back guarantee. If I don't perform for you on a 10 out of 10, or give you a 10 out of 10 experience and give you everything that you want out of this experience and make it as stress-free and seamless as possible, I'll give you the money back. Because for me, it's relationship building. It's not just about the paycheck. I'm not, and I tell my clients, I'm not in it for a paycheck. I'm in it for a relationship. Yes, a paycheck is a byproduct of that, which is great, but I'm in it for a relationship. So if I'm not performing, A, you can get out of my contract at any point. B, I will show up for you and I will perform for you because I've hardly ever had to let a client out of a contract because I will do whatever it takes. I want to make sure that you're satisfied and not even satisfied. I want to make sure that you're elated with the experience
Mhm,
because I want you to go and tell all your friends and family that Jillian Batchelor is the best realtor in town.
mhm. It's perfect.
And it's more than real estate too. I want to let them also know, yes, I'm here to be your friend, but the truth of the matter is, I mean, obviously we only have so much time for so many friends, but I want to be your resource. Like, I love Las Vegas. I want to be your resource for anything. I want you to be able to call me a year from now and say, "Hey, Jillian, I want veneers done. What dentist should I go to? Hey,
Mhm,
Jillian, my pool guy just quit. Can you let me know who you can have here to get my pool replastered?" I want to be your resource for all things, and they do not have to be real estate related. And I'll tell you, I've used that years and years and years, a million times. And so many times clients have told me that a realtor has never said that to them. Like, yes, they'll get you a pool man because it's real estate related. Yes, they'll get you a painter. But are they going to get you date night reservations? Are they going to tell you when the Sphere opens up, they're going to get you show tickets? Are they going to tell you who's the best dentist, who's the best OBGYN, who's the best massage therapist? 2 years from now when the transaction is done, for me, you can call me for anything and and if I don't have a resource, I'll find you a resource in 5 minutes.
mhm. The question
So
is, how are you doing everything and not lowering your status? So like, you kind of border the line of the friendly helper, not the real estate consultant. Like, do you ever blur those lines? Is that something that you need to learn how to navigate, or is it just going all in and they're like, oh, hell yeah, this is my person, this is who I'm using?
So leverage is key, right? Now, my clients don't have to know that I'm leveraging things. I might hang up the phone and call one of my assistants 3 minutes later and be like, "Find me this, book this in a reservation." Then I call back, I'm the hero, right? Like, "Hey guys, just got you guys booked. Da, da, da. I called Jerry over at Barry's Steakhouse, got your reservation. Here you go. You're good to go," right? So there was an exclusive steakhouse that opened up. It was Delilah's. It opened up a few years ago at the Wynn, and you couldn't get a reservation. It was like 5 months out. You couldn't get one. My clients called me and said, "I want to get into the steakhouse." I go, "I'll get you one in an hour." Called them back. I got one. I posted on social media, like, who can get me a reservation into Delilah's. I blocked the clients so they couldn't see that I was posting that. I got a bunch of people responding, and because I know I will always know somebody who knows somebody in this city that can make it happen for me. So how am I getting it all done? You guys, it's leverage. I like spring and like anybody who's moving at a high level, who's at a high pace. I have a lot of leverage. I have a personal assistant. I have two office assistants, a marketing girl. I have a videographer. I have a social media manager, all those things. So in order to do everything and have a quality of life, which I have an amazing quality of life right now, but in order to do everything, you have to have leverage. I just don't tell the clients, oh, hey, my assistant's going to book it for you. I just don't like that. So I don't say that. And
Mhm.
then I know Justin talks about this a lot, but I want to touch on this too. It's about your social media authority.
Mhm.
So to me, social media is more important than a resume. If I go to hire somebody for my team, if I go to hire somebody for staff, I'm not even going to read your resume. I'm going to be honest with you. If you send it to me, I'm probably not even going to read it, right? But I am going to go and look you up on social media. And the reason for me is that you have to align with my brand. And in Vegas, we have some things that are Vegas is known for. And some of them are great and some of them are not great, right? And I have always made money with my brain. So I want to make sure that I'm not aligning with people who are maybe not making money with their brain, right? So it's really important to me that I'm showing a professional branding out there in the world. Now, I'm also fun. Look, you guys, I'm fun. I'm lively. I am probably the most not politically correct person out there, unfortunately. I wish I was. But I know what to say on social media and I know what not to say. I know not to be offensive. So I just go and look at somebody's social media and I know if I want to identify with them. Now I know if I'm doing that, other people are doing the same thing. So I'm not saying don't be you, but what I'm saying is if you want to operate at a high level, it's kind of like a celebrity. I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but it's like a celebrity. You have now kind of I'm just gonna be real with you guys. This is my opinion. You've kind of lost the right to just be hot on any topic because you're gonna offend somebody, right? I'm not saying don't stand on your own and don't stand on what you believe in, but I wouldn't be like every single day during an election, like Trump, 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 or Biden, Biden, Biden. Like you're gonna upset somebody. I'd be maybe just a little bit more muted with it, or I wouldn't be super outgoing on like abortion or like not abortion or just any of the hot topics, right? Because you are a public facing figure now. And when you're a public facing figure, you just have to remember that you're going to offend somebody if you take too much of a line. So, with that, also, if you're too much on the playful side and like you're cussing on social media, like I have a girlfriend who's a realtor and she cusses all the time on social media. She's like, well, I don't care if people don't like me, they don't like me. I just would never, right?
Mhm.
Because I want to be a professional. You don't walk into your attorney's office and he's like, F this and screw that. And you don't walk into your doctor's office, he's about to do, your cardiologist about to do surgery on you, and that's how he's acting. So I
Uh,
want to be a professional. So my Instagram has to be professional. Now there's some after you built your brand, you could put a little more personality into it, right? But I'll tell you, for years and years and years, you guys, I wouldn't even post a bathing suit picture. Like I was very just consciously aware of like it could upset people. Now again, I've tilted that a little bit, but your brand is your social media. And I'll tell you guys that when it comes to branding, especially high net worth branding and being recognized, again, it can be a little bit of a double-edged sword. Everywhere I go, I need to be ready to like go. Like I need to have the same, like I can't walk around looking homeless ever, right? I have to be professional. I can't walk around on the phone cussing at people. I can't, do those things. So I'll tell you, I was at TSA or going through TSA in the airport the other day. It was like 6 a.m. And I would have loved to be in sweats, you guys. And I was still in heels and I was still dressed up.
mhm.
And good thing I'm going through TSA and the guy's like scanning my bag and he goes, Jillian Batchelor. And I go, oh my gosh, did I forget something in my bag? Like, do I have like liquid in there? Like, what's going on? And he's like, Jillian Batchelor. And I go, yeah, that's me right here, right? And I'm thinking I'm in trouble. And he goes, Jillian Batchelor, you sold my house a couple months ago. You don't remember me? What's going on, girl? And I'm like, oh, hi. I'm in the airport, whatever. So but that's because you're building that brand. And I've had that happen to me, you guys. I've been in Mexico, people have recognized me. I have been in all different cities across the world. So it's showing my branding is working, but it could work against me if I did something inappropriately. So your brand, your social media authority score has to be so high. People have to want to align with you. They have to want to align with the things that you believe in and also like the brand that you're building. They want to feel that it's high end. So when we're talking about going to high end clientele, they also want to feel that it's high end. Now, let me tell you a little secret. For those of you who know me, know that I love fashion, I love clothes, but I typically do not buy high end clothes. Okay. But I buy clothes that might look high end, but I just don't find the value in spending a lot of money, me personally, on high end clothes. But what I will do, because you need to look like the people you're representing, what I will do is I will buy a few high-end pieces, maybe a name brand bag or a name brand belt. Today I have on a Christian Louboutin belt. Um, so I buy the belt And this is a gorgeous dress, but it probably cost me $40, you guys, but it looks beautiful. But then I have a belt on and I have the shoes on. So you can look high end without breaking the bank. Because a lot of people will ask me that. Well, I don't have a high end car, or I don't have, high end jewelry. I don't have high end clothes. You can do little bits and pieces to fit in without feeling like you're sticking out. So you feel like you're one of them without breaking the bank. And that goes into your branding. Where I don't compromise is I don't compromise in the branding of my marketing, of my properties, of my listings, those things. So I might spend $40 on a dress, but I'll spend $3,000 on photos of a property of Nietzsche on my media package because my media package is my brand. So when their neighbor sees that I've listed their house and they're like, oh my gosh, those photos are gorgeous. When my neighbor sees that I had the drone and I had the daytime photos, the nighttime photos, and the transition and the videos and the music videos, they want to list with me. That's just a marketing expense. So to me, that's a wash. So just making sure that you're branding everything at a very high level. You're using high, and I'll kind of show you a quick little example of that, but I can email this to you guys. But my high-end listings, everybody gets a 40-page magazine. This is one property, you guys. And it's highly done. Every property has its own website, has its own QR code. You have the daytime photos, you have the nighttime photos, you have the transition, you have the drone photos, you have video books, but every high-end listing is gonna get a 40-page magazine. And it's high end. This is glossy paper, this is thick, and this is delivered within 1 week. So when it comes to branding, marketing, all of this is going to stay high end always. And I'll mail these to people, all of that to make sure that they're really getting that feel. The video marketing is high end. The video walkthroughs that go through are high end. Now, another thing is a lot of other agents will ask me, can I go market that listing? I will scrub the agent. Some agents I will say yes to, some agents I will say no. It's not that I don't believe in reciprocity, but if you can't bring down the branding of my listing, if you want to do like a janky, I don't know, you're holding iPhones are great, but you're holding your iPhone, it's all, janky, and you're going to put a video out there on my client's house, they're not going to like that. So, and I know there's a couple other questions here.
You're good. I would love to ask you a few more questions unless you're loaded up.
Well, yeah, and the other thing I'll say is this, you guys. So, a couple of things, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but there's a couple of things that really get me when it comes to real estate. Real estate for me has been the most beautiful opportunity in the world. I thank God every single day that I have the right to be out here selling houses. There are so many worse jobs that I could do. In fact, I have one of the best careers in the entire world, right? So you really have to look at it like that. When you're selling real estate, it's like I would be honored that you would hire me. I would be honored. Yes, I feel like I'm worth it, but I would be honored to work for you. I want to service you. I want to treat you like you're a golden client of mine, right? Then when you
Is it,
do,
are these real life words? Will you say that in that
oh,
way? Will you?
absolutely. Oh, I use honored all the time. I also hold my chest a lot when I do that. Well, first off, I'm a very touchy-feely person. I have a joke, you guys, I'm Italian. You know how you shut an Italian up? You got to cut off their hands because they can't talk if I'm not like laying my hands around. But it's important, I feel like, to put action into motion. So like when I say I would be honored, I'm holding my chest, I'm holding my heart. I'm slowing down the way I'm speaking because I talk very fast. I would be honored to work for you. It would be my pleasure to work for you. And it really would. Like I truly mean that. Like every single client that hires me, how lucky am I that I'm getting hired? I could be broke and begging for money on the street, like, but I'm being hired by somebody. That is a gift. They're giving me an opportunity to make money. Like, how blessed am I? So every time somebody's willing to hire me, even if I just get an interview, I am so honored that you took the time out of your day to interview me. I am so thankful. I'm so grateful. This has been such an enlightening hour that we've spent together looking at your home. You've allowed me into your property because it's an honor to come into somebody's house. It's not a right. Just because I'm a realtor, it's not a right. Just because I've had some success. Okay, great. They don't know me from Adam. They don't know if I'm going to rob their place, right? So I'm honored to be able to have that opportunity. Very, very important with that language. People need to feel that you want to work for them, that you're excited to work for them, that you're there to help them. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts, I am here to help you. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, and I wouldn't say this to them, but I am one of the best in the field. And so I would love to work for you. I'd love to prove myself to you. I would love to earn my commission. It's not a right. And I've had some people on my team over the years. I do have a team, and I've had some people be like, "Well, I want to make what you make." Of course, but you're not showing up on time. You're not dressed. Your car is filthy. If I called you today with $1 million client, would you put that client in your car? It's gross. You're not ready to go. And in real
Mm.
estate, the crazy thing about real estate is that within 2 seconds, you can have 10. Yesterday, I got 4 people called me to sell their home. When I woke up, I didn't have those listing appointments, but by the end of the
Mm.
day, I had 4 of them. So you don't know what the next hour is going to bring. So you have to be ready to go and on point, right? Ready to put people into your calendar. And
Mm.
so it's having that honor, having that experience with the clients, and then making them feel like it's a luxury experience. Let me touch on that just real quick. So
Yeah,
luxury
please.
clientele is a little different than a regular clientele, even though I do try to treat all of my clients as gold. But luxury clientele, if I know that they drink, now, yeah, careful because I have brought alcohol to a listing appointment one time and she was a recovering addict. And I brought alcohol one time to a listing appointment and they were LDS. So don't always bring alcohol, you guys. Bring cookies, but and make sure they're gluten free and all that stuff too. But if I know they drink, maybe I'm going to bring a and how would I know that? Let me dive into that. I've researched them, you guys. I've gone on their social media. I'm looking. Are they wine drinkers? Are they bourbon drinkers? Are they cigar smokers? I'm doing my research before I go to that appointment. I want to find as much as I can with this client. I also pay for a service that goes over their, I can get a dossier on a really high-end client as well. But I'm doing as much research. If it came as a referral, I'm asking questions. Do they have children? How old are their kids? Do they have dogs? One of my really high-end clients was an extreme dog lover. She loved her dogs. The listing appointment was a week in advance. I pulled pictures of her dogs off the internet and I had my cookie lady make the dogs' faces on the cookies, brought them to the listing appointment. Probably cost me I don't know, $40, but to her, that was better than a Chanel bag because it was
Mm.
so personal. It was her dog's faces on the cookies. She loved them. And then I made sure that there was ones that were made for the puppies too, right?
Mm.
So I'm doing some research. I'm going to try to bring a gift. So luxury clientele, I'm walking in the door with a gift because it's a gift for me to be in your home. I'm going to present you with a gift. I'm not going to come empty-handed, right? If I absolutely know nothing about them, you can bring a potted plant, you can bring flowers, something like that, right? You can do something a little
Would you
generous.
say that this is normal for luxury listing agents, or is this something that you have just developed on your own?
I think that it's normal for the top 2 or 3 of us. It's not normal for everybody.
Yeah.
So number one, you're definitely on time. And for me, sometimes I can run late, so I will never run late to a client appointment. So you're definitely on time, which means early, a few minutes early. You're not coming empty-handed. You're bringing some marketing up front. Now, let's say that I don't have interior pictures of their home. Their home's never been listed, whatever. I'm going to do a mock-up with the exterior pictures. I can send my photographer out there a day before, get some photos of the exterior, and just do a quick little mock-up of what a magazine for them would look like. Now, let's just say worst case scenario, they called me and they gave me an hour's notice and I couldn't do that. Then I'll bring some example pieces of previously listed properties, but I'm always coming with a gift and I'm coming with marketing materials.
Mm.
Then if it's a listing, my listing presentation is on an iPad. I bring an iPad, it's polished, it's pretty. I go through it. It's all technical. There's links. They can click on links. They can see all the marketing that I have done. And I give everyone a comprehensive marketing plan. No two people have the same marketing plan, but I will tell you my marketing presentation takes about 30 to 45 minutes to go through. And I have a
Mm.
luxury one and I have a non-luxury one, just so you guys know, because we list anything, right?
Mm.
So all of that. So that's what I'm bringing in. And then I'm also letting them know our repertoire of services is not just listing their home. And by the way, when we take a listing at the Bachelor Handy Group, we never just list the property. That's what every agent does.
Mhm.
We list the community and we list the area.
Mhm.
See, because in Las Vegas, 1 out of every 3 buyers is from out of state. So 1 out of 3 buyers doesn't know that we have Lee Canyon, a ski resort in the northwest part of town. 1 out of 3 buyers doesn't know Lake Mead. I take my boat out there almost all the time. Largest man-made body of water west of the Mississippi. They don't know the fun things to do for your kids. That there's a chicken and pickle place that just opened. They don't maybe know about the Sphere. So I'm listing the area and the community and the lifestyle. I'm never just listing the property. Any agent can
Mhm.
list the property. My photos are never just of the property. They're going to be of the property, the community, the parks. And then we're going to do separate videos, which is why we have a videographer on staff, where you, as in one of my agents, can go and walk through the property. You're going to tell people where you go for date night. If you live in this home, this is where you go for date night. This is where the closest golf courses are. This is where the closest doctor's offices are. This is where the charter schools are located. This is where the dog parks are. We're selling the whole area, even if it's not in a master plan community, right?
Mhm.
So that helps to have us stand out. We're standing out on what we're willing to do. Next thing is I try to find something that I identify with them with. So if I walk in, if I was listening Brian in Spring's house, I'd be like, "You're a Porsche lover. I used to have a Porsche." You find something you identify with. You have
Mhm.
pets. Let me tell you guys, this is the biggest secret in any home. I don't care what it is. You walk into a property, somebody has a pet. I don't care if you're allergic to cats. You go down on the ground and you roll around with that cat. Because if the cat loves you, you're in. I got a luxury listing years ago, you guys. It was two doctors, and they were husband and wife, very dry personalities. We come down, we're sitting in the living room, we're sitting face to face with each other, and I'm going into the whole presentation. And back then, I used to go into how great I am, how great I am, how great I am. That's gross. Don't do that. But, anyways, I used to do that till Justin
Mm.
taught me better. And the cat comes up, and I'm allergic to cats. And the cat comes and rubs its body across my legs. I reach down to pet the cat, and the wife goes, "Stop." And I go, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?" I'm thinking, like, am I also, is this cat going to attack me? She goes, "This cat doesn't come out of the room. This cat doesn't come out of the bed." She's like, "Our cat is the most skittish cat. If the cat likes you, we're done. We're listing with you. The listing is yours. You don't even have to keep presenting." And I was like, "Thank you, Jesus, that this cat loves me." Right. But I'm an animal lover at heart. Right. So now if somebody had like a python snake, I probably wouldn't be rolling around with the snake. Okay. Because I don't love snakes. Um, but in most cases, if there's a horse, I'm going to go out there and pet the horse. If even if you're a little bit afraid, if somebody has this animal in their home, they love this animal. You
Mhm.
need to love their animal as much as you would love their kids. Or if, let's say they don't have animals. So you see that their kids are in sports. Well, none of my kids ever played sports. So I'm like, "Oh, your son's in basketball? That's great. Who's his favorite player?" I just start asking questions because it shows that you actually do care and that you've noticed little things in their home and you've noticed little things in their lifestyle.
Mhm.
And then, due to Justin, I start asking their whys. Why do you want to move? Why? Well, it's just a good time to sell. Well, what would you do if you sold?
Mm.
Well, what are you gonna do with that money if you sell? What's the reasoning? And I'll tell you, last week I just sold a home. You guys can check my social media out. It was on Reyes, 3929 Reyes. It was a $1.3 million house. Here's what's important to that. The owner was a realtor in Las Vegas at Real in my office. And so most people would be like, "Well, why?" And she paid me a full commission. People would say, "Well, why wouldn't she list her own home?" And in Nevada, you can. I don't know what state you're in, but in Nevada, you can list and sell your own home, full disclosure. And she hired me. And by the way, she interviewed four agents. She wrote a whole dissertation of why she hired me. And I posted it on my social media. You guys should go read it. She said because she knew she would be emotional throughout the process. She knew she wanted an expert. And she's a realtor, but she's not a high end luxury realtor like I am. So she hired me to list her home. And I beat out four other agents. One she had been friends with for 15 years because my presentation was better, because she felt I cared about them more. I kept asking, why did they want to move to Hawaii? Why did they want to leave Las Vegas? And she gave me some resistance, like, "Well, we don't have to really leave Las Vegas, only if we get the price." And I was like, I kept just being like, "But why? Why? But what would that mean to your family if you guys got to Hawaii? What would it mean to your kids?" And I got to the emotional reason, because there's always an emotional reason why people are selling, you guys. It's always, even investors. Maybe they're emotionally attached to making more money. So this next investment's gonna make them more money. There's always an emotional reason. And so I just asked them, but why? And during that process, she actually took the home off the market for 30 days and she was like, "We're not going to sell." And I kept in touch with her and I was like, "Let me ask you, Sherry, why did you originally want to sell? I know you don't want to sell right now because I'm not trying to hard sell her, right, guys? Um, hey, I know you don't want to sell right now, Sherry, but I just want to know, what was the original reason why you wanted to sell?" Now, she told me this originally, you guys, but I was asking her to remind her, not to remind myself. What was the original reason? "Oh, your son's graduating high school and he's going to go to college in Hawaii." "Oh, and you want to be with him." Yeah, I totally understand how that is. I have a daughter who moved away to Reno and it was the hardest for me. I wanted her to spread her wings, but it was so hard for me to not be with her. Yeah, I really wouldn't want you to experience that either. I understand how hard that can be. "Okay, so your family wants to go and watch him play sports. That's amazing. He's earned a scholarship." So I was really digging into the why. She relisted that house right away and we sold it within a couple of weeks. So
Mm.
it's everybody has an emotional reason, but that luxury seller has even more of a reason generally because you're talking bigger dollars. Some of them are
Mhm.
attached to it, some of them are not. One last thing I want
Mhm.
to say to you guys, because I know our time's going to be running up. Don't feel that you have to discount whatever it is. We're not talking, antitrust here. Whatever commission it is you charge is your commission. But don't feel like you have to discount it because it's a higher end client. Some people will say to me, like, "Well, gosh, are they really going to pay $500,000 in commission?" Yeah, they sure are. Yeah, they sure are. Are they really going to pay $2 million for a Bugatti? Yep. They sure are, right? So if you want the Bugatti of real estate, you got to pay for it. So I just mean, and there's been times you guys are preaching to the choir. I've thought to myself, like, oh gosh, I really, really want this listing. I need this listing. It would go in it would just change my clientele. I'd be able to host events here and get in front of more people. So I'll take a little bit of a discount, just make sure I get it. And every time I've even tried to, I've realized I didn't need to. I had a client
Mm,
yesterday I was doing a luxury listing for, and he says to me, Jillian, I'm not going to beat you up on the commission. You don't have to sell yourself to me. You're great. You're amazing. He's, I'm going to hire you. I want to net out. He wanted to walk away with 1.5 million in his pocket. He's like, I don't care what you make about. I don't care if you make 10%. As long as I'm walking away with 1.5 million. Now, not everybody's going to say that. Okay, guys. But in that case, and I was going to discount my commission for him because he was a past client. I'm like thinking to myself, why am I doing that? He didn't ask for a
mm,
discount. You don't, he's a financial analyst. I just thought to myself he was going to be tighter with the figures, and he wasn't. So don't do that. You find yourself thinking, I might need to because they're asking about commission. You have to know what you're worth. This is what you charge, and these are the services you're going to give. And I keep saying to them, if somebody does ask you about that, because sometimes they'll say, like, oh, that's a lot of commission. I say, well, what is the cost of you not selling it in 30, 60, 90 days? Because if we don't use some of this money for marketing, if I don't give you my whole plan, if you don't hire me, is it
mm,
going to take you longer to sell the home? Taxes, HOA, sewer, trash, but beyond the actual hard costs, those are hard costs, right? What is the cost of not moving on with your life? You want to buy a bigger home, you want to buy a smaller home, you want to get to your mom because she's aging, you want to get the kids in college. What is the cost on you delaying that? What if you miss
mm,
that buyer? Yeah, there's hard costs, you might sell for less. And then once you get them to see the picture, what's the reason? Then commission doesn't even become an issue.
mhm. Jillian, you knocked this out of the park. We still have a few minutes. Like, really knocked this out of the park. I have been like super focused and present because you've given me a page of notes of like around my identity and things I can change and clean up. I know you're speaking luxury, but you're speaking success. You're speaking the language of success.
Mhm.
Everything in there is about identity and branding and communication and negotiation. It's like you touched upon all of these critical components of success, and I think the difference between you and everybody else is you're actually doing it. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people know it, they learn it, they train it, they read it, but you've embodied it. So I have a whole list of questions here. I'm not going to ask any of them because we only have about 5 minutes, but what is the last truth maybe we should know? Like, this could be anything that you feel compelled to speak about or pass on to us, or your last parting lesson for us.
So I'll tell you this, and this is, you guys, this is not fluff. I wouldn't fluff just to fluff. Spring changed my whole entire life, right? Justin too, but I'm a woman, so I identify with women mostly. Spring changed my entire life. And I met Spring when I wasn't physically as healthy. I wasn't mentally as healthy. I wasn't financially as healthy. Wasn't in a bad spot by any means, but I wasn't where I am today. Today, I truly believe I'm glowing. I'm living the best days of my life. I wrote it yesterday, you guys on social media. I'm living the best days of my life. I've never had better moments in my life than I have right now. And that's not to take away from like giving birth to my babies and all the things, but I truly believe that I'm worth more. And we're not talking about money here, guys. I'm worth more in my health. I was sharing with Justin this morning. I just signed up to do a fitness competition. If you guys knew me prior to 2 years ago, I hadn't even walked into a gym in years and years. Now I work out every single day. I got some muscles going, you guys. I'm getting fit. I got an 8 pack. I'm worth more on my health. I'm worth more in my relationships. I have at times I've let my kids walk all over me. I've let my parents or whoever walk all over you, your friends. I'm learning I'm worth more. If I give more to you, then I'm worth more in return. I'm worth more in my relationships. I have the best loving relationship, loving significant other right now. We're getting married. I'm super happy about that. And I'm worth more in my business. I'm not worth shitty clients. And I hate to say it like that, you guys, I'm sorry, but some clients will drain you. Some clients will step all over you no matter what you do. And we think, well, we need the money. We need the money. No, we don't. We can draw a boundary. And sometimes your clients will actually become your best friends. As soon as you draw a boundary, they'll stop treating you that way. Right. So you're worth better listings, better buyers, better relationships, better health. You're worth more money. I wake up every day and I know I'm a multimillionaire. I am. And that's my identity. It hasn't always been. I mean, I was raised with no health insurance. We were on government assistance. We were on food stamps for many years, right? Many, many years. First millionaire in my family. But I'm a multimillionaire. That's my identity. And hopefully I will be a billionaire one day, right? But I'm worth more of everything. So I'm here for whatever life wants to give me, and I'm here to grab it. My relationship with God is better. My relationship with kids is better. Business partners, team. My team is amazing now. We've had to let go some producers that I was holding on to for years and years, just out of loyalty, out of whatever, because they weren't a good culture fit. They weren't a good fit in general. I'm just worth more. And if I want to have a life where I'm literally smiling every single day, when I wake up happy every single day, I have to desire more and I have to go for more. And that takes action, you guys. It takes action every day to get up and get out of bed and go work out. It takes action to choose a partner that I'm pouring into every day. Every day I tell this man how freaking much in love with him I am, how happy I am to be with him, and he gives it back in return. Because you can't tell somebody, oh my God, I'm so in love with you. You're the best thing ever happened to me. And they're like, go F yourself. Like, they're not going to say that. They're going to be like, I'm in love with you too. You're pouring into me. I'm pouring into you. You can't pour into your team and them not pour back into you. You can't pour into your clients and them not pour back into you. So, whatever it is in your life that you want, it all starts with your mindset. It all starts with you wanting more for you. Then you can give more to everyone.
Mm. Uh, Today was amazing. Thank you so much, Jillian. You are now a regular guest on on our upgrade, and I would love for you to take over just in time. I
Let's
am
go.
I am super impressed by you today, and you're just an impressive human being. So thank you for pouring into us today. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you everyone that was here. You got a lot of shout outs, a lot of thank yous, and a lot of beautiful things said about you. So thank you all. Go have an amazing day, and
Thanks,
we'll see you
guys. Thanks for
Tuesday.
having me. Bye, guys.